What up, everybody? So, Power Book 4 Season 3 officially has a release date now, November 7th, 2025. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little pissed off about that because I was hoping Force will be coming back sometime in September. So, Stars is really dragging their feet with these power shows, considering Force has been done filming Season 3 for over a year now, and Raising Kanan has been done filming Season 5 for almost a year now. And I don't want to hear anything about post-production taking that long, because a little while ago I was doing some research, seeing how long other shows go between filming and the release date. And Tulsa King, for example, finished filming July 1st, 2025, almost a year after Force finished filming Season 3. But yet the next season of that show is going to air September 21st, almost 2 months before the next season of Force. So it seems like Stars is now airing power shows 6 months apart after the last show ended. Power Book 2 ended in October, then Raising Kanan premiered in March and ended in May. Then we don't get another power show until Force, another 6 months later in November. Something else I noticed about Force Season 3 is that there's been no news updates concerning new characters who will be added to the show in Season 3. And that's also something that's out of the ordinary because the new characters are normally announced around the time of filming. So it definitely seems like they're being really secretive concerning Season 3 and keeping a lot of things under wraps. So my question is, does this mean that something big's about to go down in Force Season 3 that would finally make all of these long breaks between power shows, specifically the 2-year break between Force Season 2 and 3, which is almost unheard of, make sense? And with that said, could that mean we're going to see the return of James St. Patrick, aka Ghost, in Season 3 of Power Book Force? Because recently, there's already been some major comebacks. Unique returning when everybody thought he was dead in Raising Kanan Season 4, and Reg returning to the Shy Season 7 after being assumed dead for 4 whole seasons. And either though Unique and Reg are my favorite characters from each of those shows respectfully, the character that everybody wants to see return to the screen is Ghost. And with that said, there might even be a hint that Ghost is returning in Season 3 of Force from the exclusive images. Because there's one particular image that shows Tommy with an emotionless look on his face in his loft, looking at somebody comfortably sitting in a chair in his crib. We could see that Tommy had been through war with a gun in his hand, dressed in all black, with a hoodie and gloves on. But if that's not Ghost, then I definitely think it's Tariq. I definitely think it's either one or the other. I'm hoping that it's Ghost, simply because the fact we know Tariq is alive and well already and gonna be in Power Legacy. But if that is Tariq, that could also be part of the reason why the new characters for Season 3 haven't been revealed yet and they're being kept under wraps. Because if Tariq appears in Force, especially if he does it relatively early in Season 3, there could possibly be multiple crossovers in the final season of Force. But even if it is Ghost and he returns in Force Season 3, I still expect Tariq to be in Force Season 3 also to set the stage for Power Legacy. Getting me to the characters who we already know will be in Season 3 and the storylines that are continuing over in Season 3 from Season 2. Starting out with Tommy Egan. Tommy was last seen pissed off after he got a call from Miguel, calling Tommy from Mireya's phone, letting Tommy know that he won't be seeing Mireya again while he was burning the tickets to Barcelona, the spot where Tommy and Mireya intended to go for their romantic getaway. This was after Tommy spent all season plotting against Miguel, ultimately backdooring him with his plug Che in the final episode of Season 2, with Che making Tommy and Miguel shake hands and agree to keep the peace. In addition to the situation with Miguel and Mireya, Tommy also has problems with his family right now. After at the end of Season 2, Tommy gave Kate some coke to where she ended up in the hospital fighting for her life. And because of that, JP told Tommy to stay out of their lives. Not to mention Tommy's nephew D-Mac broke out of the boarding school Tommy sent him to and is back running the streets of Chicago and has already caught another body killing King Kilo, leader of the RD's nephew, Mad Dog. So Tommy's rose to the top of the Chicago drug game in no time, but everything around him is crumbling. Even his relationship with his business partner Diamond Sampson isn't the best right now because Diamond feels like Tommy is making solo moves without talking to him first. Something that is true, but that thought was also put in Diamond's head by his brother Jinard. And now Diamond has plotted behind Tommy's back to hand D-Mac over to King Kilo, leader of the RDs, when he gets out of prison for killing his nephew. Either though, that's another complicated situation because the actor Big Baby Davis, who played King Kilo, is currently in prison. They could potentially change the actor like they did in Season 3 of Power Book 2 when they recasted Theo. Either though, it's going to be almost impossible to find another character the size of Big Baby Davis. But concerning Diamond, his character took a dark turn at the end of Season 2, going back to his old ways, and maybe even worse than he was before after the death of Leon. The last time we saw Diamond at the end of Season 2, him and Tommy had just had a disagreement about Tommy making solo moves, and Diamond was specifically pissed off that Tommy left Vic Flynn alive after they agreed to kill him when they found out that he was a rat. And we know that Vic Flynn will also return in Season 3 with Tommy having a plan to flip Vic and use him being a snitch to his advantage. But the thing about Vic Flynn is Tommy won't be able to have too much leverage over Vic because he has zero attachments at this point. So Vic Flynn might be harder to control than Tommy initially anticipated. There's also the return of Jinard Sampson and his girl Shanti Showstopper, who are plotting from the inside to eventually overthrow Tommy and Diamond to take over CBI. Either though Jinard is completely with Shanti's plan when it comes to Tommy, I don't feel like the two are on the same page when it comes to Diamond. Jinard is also the instigator who found out that Tommy was hooking up with Mireya and sent Miguel the picture of Tommy and Mireya together, ultimately being the reason why Miguel did what he did. This was after Jinard spent most of Season 2 fighting addiction issues before overcoming in the end. So now that Jinard has a clear head, he might be even more dangerous than ever in Season 3. As for Shanti, she's slowly starting to earn Tommy's trust after playing both sides between him and Claudia in Season 2. Because at first, Tommy didn't trust Shanti, and it was the first number he asked his lawyer about when they were trying to figure out who the snitch was. Concerning Claudia Flynn, she's not confirmed to be in Season 2 and might be dead after she was last seen getting stabbed in prison after she was arrested at the end of Season 2. Getting me to the Garcia family, Miguel and Mireya, who are both confirmed to be in Season 3. And like I said, the main storyline concerning these characters is whatever happened at the end of Season 2 and the fallout from that situation and how Mireya ultimately will get free. And either though Miguel will start out Season 3 as Tommy's primary enemy, like they say in the Power universe, the game has a way to make your friends into enemies and your enemies into friends. Stacy Marks is also confirmed to return in Season 3 after getting burnt by Tommy at the end of Season 2 when she was sent to arrest Claudia Mirkovich in the Marquez cartel when she thought she was about to arrest Tommy. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, Tommy now knows that Vic is a snitch and intends on using it against Stacy Marks. And last but not least, we had the return of possibly my favorite character from Power Book Force, D-Mac, my young boy, young and wild, and ready to set some shit off in Season 3. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.